Drogba indirdi ceza. Snyder. Snyder gol! Allah'ım gol! Muslera. Fernando Muslera. Golün adı Muslera. Sarıyoglu. Drogba. This is incredible.
Merhaba and welcome to episode 52 of the Lion's Den, a Galatasaray podcast. Done by the community, for the community. I'm back, your favorite host, and I have my fellow co-hosts. You all know Emre from New York, America, our mobster, our gangster. Emre, now that's how you do an intro.
Yeah, I gotta go. What's up and welcome to the Lion's Den. Galatasaray podcast. That's what I gotta do from now on, it seems like. And you know, people might like you, but there's a lot of people that show me love. And you know, to those that do, I appreciate you guys.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I fell asleep first minute of the podcast the past few times. So, yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
All right, Samet, you know what? I'm tired of you
Hold on,
tooting your own horn.
Who's this?
I'd rather compliment you just because, first of all, I know you'd love that. And I'm tired of you always talking about yourself. So, Samet, we did miss you, bro. Okay? I did miss your intros. That little intro just gave me goosebumps. I don't know what it is, your voice or your energy or what it is,
yeah.
but welcome back, bro. Welcome back.
Nah, I mean... Actually, I didn't want to come back, you know. We had our little feud, Yasin, by the way. That's Yasin, also from New York, America, for new listeners tuning in. We have a history of beefs in the podcast, and one of them was the reason I wasn't here for the past 4 or 5 episodes. Basically, deleting my tweets on Twitter. Anyway, I'm not
See, if you had a thick skin, you would have actually stayed. You know, if your skin was just thick enough, it would have been fine.
I have other parts
Inside
that are
joke,
thick
guys.
enough. That's fine. Well, with that said, give it up for our most favorite, Coach Canada.
Oh, come on. I wouldn't say most favorite. But
Oh, he's definitely.
I mean, we don't
you're
have
definitely his
any
favorite.
other Coach Canada, so just saying.
no, just like you, I indeed had to dust the the cobwebs off my mic. It's been quite a while, so happy to be back. And I, along with Yasin, did get goosebumps as well with that legendary intro.
Ah, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you for this compliment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the soundboards, of course.
Oh,
How
he's
can we
officially
forget?
back.
I hope everyone has missed the soundboard. And yeah, thank you for the requests.
Thank you for this compliment.
Oh yeah, Snyder, tell him. Boys, like I said, I've become a dad. I've been busy. I don't have time to prep things. So this episode, you guys have to carry me, man. Is that okay by you guys?
Depends on how much you weigh.
Oh,
I
God.
feel like we've been carrying you all 52 episodes, so this should be no new challenge.
Oh shit, the banter is on today, isn't it?
Bro, you took it right out of my mouth.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's a soundboard for
Oh,
this.
dude,
Okay.
I can't believe
You
Yasin,
fucked up.
you just sold literally like 2 minutes into the podcast. Sold already. That's crazy.
Bro, these guys about to whoop your ass. Get up and leave. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Here we
maybe
go.
I
Yo,
should.
Yasin,
Emre.
what did you do right now,
Here
bro?
we
What
go,
the hell
bro.
did you just do? You just shot yourself in the foot. Good job. Excuse you. Excuse you.
Oh, God.
All right.
Dude,
yeah.
you're
When
gonna
did you even
confuse
get that of
everybody,
me?
bro.
What the hell?
Yeah.
This man is like ninja recording
Yo,
me.
That's right. He's a Cardenas boy, just like me.
Okay, dude,
Please,
you've
Samet,
unleashed
Kafa yiyeceğim,
Samet
bro.
like never before, bro. I don't know why you did that.
This man had blue balls for like a month straight. He's just releasing everything at once right now.
Yeah, brother really just took that risk right now. Oh man. GG,
Maybe
Yasin,
you
bro.
know it's actually it's good timing to also say Gomez, give it up to the guys, man. Oh yeah, baby.
BAYRAMLAR.
Yep, it's Bayram. I wish everyone celebrating Eid a very nice Bayram. Eid Mubarak, they say. We say BAYRAMLAR. Yeah, my wife is preparing candies in the background, so if you hear that, my bad. So, moving on, boys. I do have one more thing to say because you all remember the last time when I spoke to you guys about our ratings and views. It's now 5% of female listeners. So give it up. Yasin, you have a chance. We might find someone for you. Oh, yes.
Hadi bakalım.
And,
Let's see what happens.
and the last announcement to just have it done and over with. We're champions, baby. I mean, we're gonna be champions because we're still number 1. And we just won against Alanyaspor. Oh, yeah. Get hyped.
Hadi inşallah.
Yeah, my wife is looking at me like, what the hell is he doing?
I can't believe I married this fool.
Anyway. So, Emre, what happened
Söyle
lately?
canım.
What's up? What's up?
What do you mean what happened lately? Are we talking about me or are we talking about Galatasaray?
I think we can talk about you. I miss you.
Do you really though? Do you really miss me? Because you kind of bust my balls quite a bit lately.
You just need to grow a thick skin, man.
Yeah. You're like Iron Man up in this bitch, aren't you? I don't know, lads. Lately with me, I've been having issues with my leg. I don't know if you guys been having any issues with your leg. I don't know if it's age, but my left kneecap is killing me, man. I don't know if it's age. Summit, you would know. Do you have any of these issues?
It's probably your weight, bro.
I weigh less than you, Lan.
How do you know?
Samet is like a spring chicken, bro. Come on.
No, honestly, I actually had a call today with my doctor. I was complaining about acid reflux, and she said, "Did you gain weight?" I'm like, "Yeah." Thanks for doubling down on that.
Every time I hear Summit, he's like, "Oh, the Yinga brought me this." He's always eating something that the Yinga makes.
Yeah, bro,
I don't know if he's lucky or unlucky.
Yeah, nah, I'm complaining. It's a luxury problem, honestly.
But yeah, dude, I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, anyone that's listening that's under the age of like 28, 27, look after yourselves. I'm telling you. When you get older, things break down and it takes longer to heal.
Yeah, add
Especially
up
when
getting
you have,
married, having children.
Oh, yeah.
It's done. Speaking of Yasin, any marriage or children in planning?
No, man. Marriage. I'm counting on you and this podcast to find me somebody. That you said there's 5% of viewers are female. My chances have increased, so I'm just happy for that right now.
Bro, episode 100, it's gonna be the speed dating episode. We just bring in one after the other.
They all seem under the age of 18, though.
Successful
I don't know.
candidate,
That's
bro.
a weird stat, though.
What's the chances that they're
is that
fake?
for you?
The 5%. There's got to be a few percent that's like fake.
Yeah, probably.
That's so weird.
Oh, and I'm sure they're just like licking their lips at the chance.
Bro.
Yeah.
No comment, bro.
Yeah, so what's your ideal chick?
My ideal chick's the one that's interested. No, but for real, I don't know. Somebody that is, close
Loves
to their
Galatasaray.
family. Galatasaray is not a requirement because even if they don't love Galatasaray when I meet them,
of course.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make them a Galatasaray some way somehow. Just with the passion and everything,
So Wanda,
you're looking for someone. You're looking for someone submissive, ladies. You're submissive type. Hit Yasin up.
Anyways, enough about me, man. People are not listening to this podcast to know what I'm interested in.
How do you know that?
Watch the DMs on Twitter after this saying, "Oh, Samet abi, I have my sister for Yasin." Wait on it, bro.
Samet already said what he had to say a couple weeks ago. It didn't work, so I lost my hope.
Well, you didn't advertise yourself well enough, my friend.
Yeah,
Someone
bro, I'm
advertised
telling
what
you,
he needed to advertise.
he got Tesla stocks. He has a Tesla. He has an American passport. So I'm just saying.
Of course, you had to put that in there.
Okay, thank you. Salam alaikum, my friend. Salam alaikum. Chim bom bom. Bye. Chim bom bom.
I think that's a cue for us to talk about Jim Bom Bom, right?
Please. There's a lot to talk about, man. So I think we should get started.
Yasin's gonna explode from blushing. Let's go.
I want to, before we start, I want to have one last snippet because you guys did predictions last episode, and this one was pretty funny. And I want to know what you think of this.
Therefore, I think we'll win, and it will be just a 2-0 victory. I don't expect us to go like 4-1 or whatever. Just a clean 2-0 victory.
Yeah, Saleh is not here today, but Jesus, what a prediction, eh?
You know who
That
he
was
was
Yasin's.
replying to, by the way?
No?
So, I mean, of course, Samet doesn't give me credit. This is classic Samet. Last week, I predicted 4-1, and that's why Salih replied the way that he did, because I predicted 4-1. He's like, what? No way. This, that. And then he predicted 2-0, and that's why he replied the way he did.
But doesn't show the clip of you making the actual prediction. But
Of course.
it shows Salih's like
course.
reverse fucking jinx or whatever.
Look. You guys give Yasin all the credit, but where's my credit when I haven't been making predictions for weeks and we've been winning?
Wait, you haven't been making...
What happened? What happened versus Alanyaspor, huh? You didn't make a prediction
The
then.
ref happened. Lale Orta happened. Because
Uh-huh,
otherwise,
like
we ain't losing that.
Like the refs haven't happened weeks before that or after
Nope.
or last week?
It was me. All me, baby.
All right. All right. You know, Emre's right. He's been pretty consistent about that. So
True. All right, Emre, give us the news on what's been happening with Gala.
Oh, there's been a lot that's been happening with Gala. There's one thing I want to talk about that happened very recently, and it's actually really funny. Again, our biggest rivals, who are the biggest losers, as Yasin really kindly put it last week, go and they're trying to sue Erden Timur for revealing their hypocrisy regarding the Zaniolo transfer. Now, what happened with the Zaniolo transfer, you guys might ask?
Called it.
What happened? Oh, a lot of Fenerbahce media representatives were going around saying, Galatasaray only got Zaniolo because we didn't want him, you know? So, and then what happened? We went and we made a better offer. Well, it wasn't a better offer. We made an offer that was less in cash, but more enticing with bonuses. Meanwhile, they made a better offer with cash up front. But Zaniolo said, nope, I'm going to Galatasaray, and we copped him, and they couldn't cop him. And then Erden Timur exposed them on live TV with the actual documents. And what they're trying to do is now sue him for exposing those documents. That's where we're at right now.
Why now, though? I mean, it's been like, what, a month since he exposed Fener's offer?
Because that's all they do. Like Yasin said, they're the biggest losers on the planet. That's all they wanted. That's the only way they know they can stop us is if they stop the guys that are making things happen in Galatasaray. And who's making it happen? Dursun Özbek. Erden Timur. He's just the biggest catalyzer in how we're doing, why we are the way we are right now. He's providing that ortam, that environment.
Just to add on to that, I think someone actually asked a really good question. Why now, right? It's been basically a month. And you'd think that after something like this is televised on TV and everybody and their mother has spoken about it for the days after, that the club would say something. I actually kind of forgot about it because so much has happened since. And at the time, I expected Ali Koç or somebody to come out and say, oh, no, this is a lie. No, this is the truth. But we heard nothing. So the assumption was that it was the truth. But, of course, you had Fenerbahce fans say, oh, Erden Timur's lying. Why would you believe him? You know, you don't believe Ali Koç, so why do you believe him? So they all thought it was fraudulent, right? And now all of a sudden, a month later, Ali Koç comes out and is trying to sue us. So by suing us, he's actually like saying a lot without saying it directly. And one of that is this guy's telling the truth. You know, if we were lying and if those documents that Erden Timur provided on TV were false, Fenerbahce would have just come out and showed us what the actual truth was, but they couldn't do that. So indirectly, they're saying Erden Timur spoke the truth and the media before that was telling a lie. So he basically confirmed our belief and Erden Timur's statements that everything was a lie. So that's number one. Number two, why did this come out a month later? Well, Ali Koç, being Ali Koç and his unsuccessful club that he runs, he's trying to deter fans' attention from what's going on. And not just the fans, but also media. And what would that be? Number one, that they're not successful. Sure, they're winning these games 3 weeks in a row. They're coming from behind and just barely skimming by. Last minute goals, last minute penalties, last minute absolutely terrible calls by the refs in their favor week after week after week. But also because of this whole Lale Orta and their own club representatives threatening the refs in front of everybody. You know, recently, I think it was last week, Fenerbahce's, a representative basically said, you know, something about, you know, they basically got Tayyip Erdogan involved. They used his name to basically threaten a ref at halftime that they were losing. And surprise, surprise, in the second half, the other team gets all these yellow cards, red card, penalty, this, that, and Fenerbahce end up winning. So, you know, a lot has been going on. And Ali Koç, of course, being the supposedly sly guy that he is just deterring their fans away from what's actually going on.
Yasin, honestly, I stopped reading it because I think every other day they post like an announcement with like 5 pages. And lately I've been just replying underneath like, I didn't read it, but here, light a cigarette, man.
And their admin must be like 5 years old. It makes me appreciate our GS admins that much more.
Bro, you know what's actually hilarious? You said, Emre, that they were saying, like the Fener, they were saying, oh, we didn't get him because we don't want him. It's like, bro, oh, really?
Yeah,
you guys are so cool, man. You have Diego Rossi. Why would you want Zaniolo? It's
For
like,
real, bro.
Yeah, it's like, what does that even mean, bro? Like, what do you mean you guys don't want him? You're chilling with Rossi? That, like, what? Like, what are you saying?
No, they like when they say we don't want him, their coach didn't want him. Their brain for dead coach.
Oh, yeah.
JJ, philosoph.
I already told you guys the reason for that, bro. No Portuguese, you no play.
I'm sorry, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that actually, I have to say this really quickly too. John brought up a good point. They said they don't want him. Do you guys remember last year, I think it was like Mert Hakan Yandaş or whoever else that they've transferred that they've paid so much more money than us to convince, whether that's İrfan Can Kahveci, Mert Hakan Yandaş, whoever it is, right? They brought so many players over the last few years that simply went to Fenerbahce because they're getting paid a lot more money, right? So they came out with this statement, this whole phrase that, gets their fans even more fired up to believe that they're so much bigger than us is if Fenerbahce is interested in a player, that player comes to Fenerbahce. I'm translating it more or less, but there's a statement that they have that they put on Twitter, media, many times before. If Fenerbahce wants somebody, they get them.
oh, yeah.
Well, Ali, coach.
They're such a huge club and they just win so many trophies. So it's probably a player's dream, right? It makes total sense. Like on what
big,
basis, bro? It's embarrassing.
They have to add fake stars to their logo because they're so big.
Bro, it's so
can
funny.
you
They-
even
they
think
come
about it, bro?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you said they have to add fake logos to the stars to the logo. It's like they come out with all these, professional statements, official statements, right? That they always put on their Twitter. And then you open up the link and it's like a logo with 5 stars. I'm like, yeah, real official, right? Everything you guys say and portray is fraudulent.
Ama buraya bugün iyi niyetli
Bro,
gelmedi.
everything they do is backwards. İyi niyetli gelmedi. Exactly. They don't. Bro,
Fenerbahçe'ye bak çok değişik şeyler yapılıyor. Bak.
Ozan Tufan, you couldn't have said it any better, my friend.
I'm sorry, huh?
Any
And then
better.
they act the victim, bro. That's
Bro,
the worst part about it.
Their scout team is our scout team. Okay, that's all they've been doing. Like, look, since last year, I can just remember every transfer that they made is a transfer Çalımı on Galatasaray, right? And it blew up in their face. What do they do this year? They try to get all the players, João Pedro. Then they try to get other players that we went for, like Icardi and Zaniolo. Didn't work in their favor. What happened? Then they had to rely on Jorge Jesus and his transfers, which blew up extra in their face. And then they made fun of Abdülkerim. Say you're not worth that much. And then that blew up in their face and they had to go deal with Samet Akaydın. See, Galatasaray fans that are listening, this is why we are the way we are, why we are the biggest contenders every time we fight for a title. This is why they call us the team of finals. Because we go for results. We don't go to bring other people down. We go to bring ourselves up and further ourselves. That's the biggest difference. That's why they're losers and we're winners. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go.
That's hilarious, dude. Yeah, well said, bro. Well said.
Yeah, okay. Let's cut the opposing team stuff because we got our own stuff to deal with. And as long as we win, it's all in our hands. They can do whatever they want. But this season, we're beating them, TFF, the refs, the media, and everything.
Lale Orta.
All
And
together.
her, all that. Inshallah.
One thing I've heard, guys, again, coming up in the media, something we mentioned back in March. 2 Argentinian players are being discussed within Galatasaray for the summer. And we've mentioned this the first time back in March that Giovanni Simeone is the son of Diego Simeone, is being thought of as next to Icardi, basically. And Oscar Ezequiel Zeballos, a young wonder kid from Argentina. So,
just to comment on that. I mean, it's good that you brought it up because, you know, it shows that, you know, something that we've mentioned many times in the last few weeks is our scout department, our club, whoever's in charge of transfers is not just standing still right now. They're not just sitting and watching the current team do work. They're already thinking about the team next year. And you've heard many journalists say many times before, Arden and his team are trying to build a team for the Champions League or Europa League already. They don't want to wait until the last minute when we might have, you know, playoff games beforehand. You know, since unfortunately the Super League and the Turkish League UEFA points coefficient point is not very high as it used to be. We don't go to Champions League directly anymore. So we have to play playoff rounds the same way we did in the past. Fenerbahce, Beşiktaş, Başakşehir have. So they want to make sure the team's ready then. And as you guys know, Rashica is on loan. Icardi is on loan. Both Mertens and Mata were on one-year contracts, although Mertens seemingly is extending. But we still have to plan accordingly. We might have some players leave, like, you know, Sacha Boey, Nelson. So we have to think about who their replacements are going to be beforehand. So, you know, I think there's a lot we can talk about these two names you mentioned, Samet. But overall, I think it's better to maybe just wait a little bit longer towards the end of the season and see what other names come up. And when the season actually finishes, then we're going to see a lot more flash news lines.
I agree with Yasin because, like, even, I don't know if you guys saw reports of Cenk Ergün being in Italy to finish up or finalize some deals of some sort. There's going to be a whole ton of rumors, and I think it's going to take like a ton of time to go through each and every one of them.
And Firmino is one of them as well, right?
Yeah, plenty.
Which makes sense to me. I mean, I'm not saying we will get him. Obviously, there are names flying around, but Firmino actually makes a lot of sense considering how we're playing with Mertens.
Yeah.
And we don't have a replacement for Mertens. That's your guy. That's your guy, Firmino, just like him.
Yeah, hopefully it happens. I like Firmino.
So, Emre or Yasin or Can, what else?
I think that might be it for the news. Nothing else really jumps out at me. I mean, at this point in the season, I feel like there's not as much news and everything is focused on the last stretch, the last few matches here, right?
Yeah.
Icardi, I think, is something we can mention. Apparently, he has a slight injury, and it's saying that he's all right. So hopefully he makes it to the Fatih Karagümrük game. He's also on a yellow card, one yellow card from suspension. So I don't know if the Hoja will make that decision to bench him and try playing Gomis or maybe Zaniolo at striker. We'll see, because Barış is also suspended because he saw that idiotic yellow card from last game.
Yeah.
In the Alanyaspor game. And speaking of Alanyaspor...
But Emre, you mentioned Icardi has a health issue and that he is doing okay, so he'll be back for Fatih Karagümrük?
Potentially, yes, that's what I'm hearing.
This whole situation sounds a bit like when Mertens was injured and everyone kept saying he's fine, he's training, and then actually, well, every time we heard that, he missed another game. And like what? He missed 3 games in total?
Well,
so that's a bit
think
worrying
about this,
with Icardi, yeah?
Think about this. Icardi is younger than Mertens, so the odds of him actually recovering quicker than Mertens is much more likely.
Well, I don't even believe Mertens' age, man. That's no way, man. He can run.
That's also
that
true.
much.
The man's playing like he's 28.
He's like those Africans with the fake age. It's not a Belgian.
So then Gomis is not 38, he's more like 48. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I was saying younger.
Well, Gomis is playing like he's not 38. He's playing like he's in his 40s at this point. If Mertens is 35 and he's playing like this, and Gomis is playing like this, there's got to be some sort of discrepancy there, don't you think?
Yeah, but hey, Gomis is a French African.
What does that mean?
Hadi devam move on.
Oh my god, bro.
The listeners miss me. I know.
We're gonna get canceled one day, bro. I swear to God.
I know, bro. It's so funny.
This episode is we're finished after this.
But let's move on. Let's move on to the game. Shall we?
We can, before we move on to the game, ad break time. No, I'm just joking. We don't have ad breaks, bro. But for new listeners coming in, listening to us, we also have a Discord. So you can join us, discuss things, watch games, play video games. So feel free to ask for an invite link and you'll get the special GOAT listener status because you came directly by listening. It's our secret. So keep it that way. And yeah, we love you. We appreciate you. And don't forget to
share with your friends.
Yeah.
Like.
Subscribe.
It helps us a lot,
5-star
guys.
on Amazon, Spotify, wherever you're listening.
Share with your friends' friends.
Exactly.
Their friends. Let's get it, boys.
Take us to the game. Coach Canada.
Let's go. This was round 30 of the Super League. Like Samet said, we were the guest of Alanyaspor. We'll go through some stats and starting 11 as well. Starting 11, we had Muslera, of course, in goal. My boy, well, kind of my boy. I don't want to call him that yet. Sam Adekube, left back. Abdul Karim, Nelson, Boy, Lucas Torreira, Sergio Oliveira, Mertens, Kerem, Rashica, and Icardi. Going through some quick stats, we had 56% possession as opposed to the 44% of Alanya. 17 shots compared to 6 for Alanya. And we actually had an XG of 2.64 and Alanya had 0.92. This one finished 4-1 as a final. Our highest rated player for the match was the Magic Man himself, Mertens. He was 8.6 rating on FotMob and 8.4 on SofaScore. Going through the main events, key events of the match, we opened scoring with Abdul Karim in the 14th minute. It was a beautiful assist by Karim from the free kick. Alanya tied it 1-1 from a penalty. Sasha Boy unfortunately gave away a penalty. Efecan scored the penalty to make it 1-1. And then right before halftime, we had Icardi score to make it 2-1 with an assist from Mertens. Starting the second half, we had the injury from Icardi just before the end of the first half. He was subbed out at the start of the second. Bodish came in to replace him. And then we found the third goal through an interesting goal from Mertens in the 48th minute to make it 3-1. And then Rashica put the icing on the cake in the 63rd minute and scoring the fourth goal with an assist from Adekube. So I thought it was a good match. I'll lead us into the match discussion here if that's okay.
I just want to say, John, since when is Adekube your boy?
Well, he's kind of. I said. Listen, I said he's kind of my boy.
You've been shitting on the guy since day one that he arrived. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But don't go backpedaling right now because he had one good game.
He's kind of my boy, just being Canadian. But other than that, he's, in my opinion, well, I'm going to talk about that. I think he's just amateur. Totally dog water. But anyways, I'm going to bring that up. But yeah.
How to phrase and insult someone in the same sentence.
Right? Well, I'm Canadian, man. Come on. Yeah, you got to.
Jesus Christ.
You can't just full out insult someone. You have to say something nice about them too. But anyways. Yeah, I thought it was a good match, man. I thought we started pretty comfy. We kind of, I thought we looked in control right from the beginning. And in the third minute, we had a pretty nice attempt on goal through Mertens. We looked established from the first whistle. I think there wasn't a point where I was really too worried. I think we all kind of got the sense that, we were going to make something happen this match, especially coming off a 6-0 win the match before. So yeah, we're in good form right now. Definitely 10 goals in 2 matches, but yeah, I thought it was good, man. Alanya didn't really have anything that were too threatening. We unfortunately gave away that penalty in the first half, which I don't know, man. I thought it was a little bit soft, but it is what it is. They're very fortunate to have gotten that, I think, because Bowie doesn't really make mistakes like that very often. But I thought it was just a tremendous team performance, man. I thought everyone played well, including Adekube,
which was a pen, if you ask me, by the way.
Surprising. You know what? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the pen. I'm sure you guys all probably
he
agree.
slips and slides and misses the feet, but from behind, his legs come and hit the player. So he does hit the player.
My thing with it is, yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. He didn't stop the player from playing the ball at all. It was a little bit late. He kind of clipped him. There was a little bit of contact and he went down, but
Let me ask you this, John. If it was the other way around, would you ask for a pen?
The thing is with this is that when you have every game players like stomping on each other's ankles and it's never given a red card or
that's true.
That's the problem. This is
we
so
don't know
soft.
what's
like
a pen lately.
He didn't
we
even.
Don't know.
Yeah, he didn't prevent the player. The player played the ball no problem, and then like 2 seconds, 3 seconds later, Bowie came in and like it's not even like Bowie crushed him inside the box. He like clipped him. There's a little bit of contact with the trailing leg.
Am I forgetting and not remembering correctly? But the guy was like already like slightly falling down before Bowie even made contact.
Like yeah, man. Like it was. I thought it was just soft in my opinion. I at the end of the day,
I'll give it, man. I don't care. I like. Yeah, I mean, rather than bullshit stuff. You know what I mean?
Like that's what I mean. Like at the end of the day, I can, if you're gonna give it a pen, it's like fine. It's kind of soft.
I'll accept that.
Yeah, but it's like where does that fall on the spectrum? Because we have guys that are almost getting their ankles broken every single game, like fully getting stomped on, right?
Ask the Fenerli among us, Yasin.
Tell us, bro.
Am I supposed to respond to Samet after he calls me Fenerli like that?
I mean, your boy Arda Güler is faking pens here, left and right as well. So
yeah, that's embarrassing.
They're all throwing themselves in the box, bro. I swear to God, I never seen anything like this, man.
All right, we talk about Fenerbahce too much already.
yeah, true. I mean,
well, he opened the damn conversation, bro.
Yeah, don't let him direct us like that. I mean, I thought it was a penalty, honestly. I thought it was just stupid from Sacha. If it was more like a honest mistake from his side, I would be more on the side of, okay, like that's not a penalty. But like when you come into a challenge like that, where you're not really near getting the ball and you're putting the other player in a dangerous situation, even if it was after the fact, then you can't really complain too much. Like, if the game ended 1-1 or we lost points, God forbid that game, I think the conversation naturally would be different. People would be very mad about it. People would swear that it was not a penalty. So,
but if he would make that save, Yasin, he would be God.
Yeah. Oh, the challenge if he actually stopped the ball. Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would be. But still, like I would still be like, dude, that's risky as hell. Like you still should not be doing that. But if we're going to get penalties like this against us, I'm glad it's in a game where we win the way that we did. I'm glad that Sacha made a mistake that he normally doesn't make so he can learn from it, because Sacha is the type of player that learns from his mistakes generally. So it's fine, And again, if Sacha is a player that makes these challenges all the time, I would be cursing right now, but that's not the case. As John said, it was a very big surprise to see him make the mistake that he did today, that game.
Also,
so I move on. That's it.
Look, what I don't understand was, okay, the pen, I'm past the pen. Like, wasn't he supposed to see a card there? Like, usually when you foul someone in the box and you cause a pen, aren't you supposed to see a yellow? I was kind of like wondering why the ref didn't give him a yellow there, or is there something I'm not aware of regarding the rules? Like, I think we should talk about that as well.
It's not consistent, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, none of this is consistent, because
I don't try to understand penalties in the Super League anymore.
It's just so soft. But I've literally seen like 4 matches in the last probably 4 weeks where someone is just getting absolutely stomped on, and there's nothing. So it's like, how are these decisions being made? Like, it's just strange, man.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I think there's no such rule as if there's a penalty, it's always at least a yellow card, by the way. Like, there's no such thing as that. I think they still try and identify it to the degree that it was dangerous. Like, that position could have been anywhere from a no card to a yellow card to a red card, depending on how Sacha actually made the tackle. In all 3 cases, it's still a penalty, no matter how he tackled him. But because this one was considered a softer, I mean, I think we're all on the same page here. It was considered a softer tackle and penalty. So he didn't really do anything to warrant a yellow. It wasn't dangerous per se. So they got the penalty. Like, there's no reason to really
inconsistent. That's
give him
like
penalize us twice, you know. But if Sacha studs up on the guy's freaking calf and like risked his injury, then you give him a yellow, red card. But to answer your question, it's not always a yellow card. So I wouldn't approach it that way going forward.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hear people crying. That's all.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Abdul Karim and him, you know, opening the scoring that match? And before you guys answer, I mentioned to one of you, I can't remember who it was, but when you look at a match like this, you know, you can tell how much of a team effort it was when you have one defender, one midfielder, one striker, and one winger on the goals on the scoring sheet. You know, that's a team effort, team performance right there. So what did you guys think about that? I thought it was a really nice goal.
It's great to see, like you said, it tells you something when you have 4 different players being on the score sheet and not relying on one player, because then what if that player gets injured and he's out for the whole month or so? Then what do? Well, you have other players that come up and step up to score, and that's one of the strongest features that we have as a team, bro.
Man.
It also shows that our game isn't centered around one person or one being. You know how you would have, this game's centered around this player, and if he's not there, we're kind of screwed. You know, kind of like how I hate to talk about other teams, but again, Beşiktaş, when they don't have Cenk on the field, they look completely lost. And when he's on the field, it's a whole different game, right? And so I feel like you can put anyone in that position and they will do work. As far as scoring, I would say.
I'm just happy
really
that
good
we
to
have
see.
goal-scoring center backs again.
Yeah, I don't know if Abdülkerim is worth that much, guys. I don't know. Is he worth that much?
I don't know. Is his salary a bit too much compared to the rest? Maybe it's too much. It's going to stir up shit in the team.
Samet and oh my God, this man has a vendetta.
I just don't like his pieces, man. Just for our listeners, it's Mehmet Özcan reference with his, Abdul Kerim has a too high salary.
Look, in his defense, it's better to have reporters that report on the good side and the bad side. So you have some sort of in between.
I don't want to go back. It's just an unnecessary article.
Otherwise, you have reporters like other teams where all they do is spout good stuff and set bad expectations.
True.
I agree with him, right?
Yeah. What do you think, Yasin, bro? What do you think of our boy?
Abdul Kerim?
Yeah, man.
He's incredible, man. Like
King Kong.
It's nice to have a defender that provides a goal threat consistently, and not just by his assists, but also by himself actually scoring on free kicks, on set pieces. That just adds so much more to our skill set and our toolbox of being able to score goals. I mean, if you look at the standings and how many goals we scored and how many goals we let up, Abdülkerim has a pie in both those, statistics, right? He's defending incredibly well. He's defending incredibly well. I think we have the best defense in the league, of course. That's attributable to Nelson and Muslera and Torreira, of course. But he's also scoring goals. He's making assists. So that you love to see that. And he's a Turkish player. We don't need to go over the little details for the 100th time, but it's great to see. And I think we brought in a new a coaching assistant that specializes in set pieces, right? Earlier this season.
Yeah.
So I think that might be attributable to that. If you watch the goal again, you have Icardi and another player going near post, and Icardi being Icardi attracts so many players and defenders onto him, where Abdülkerim was able to find that open position in the middle, I guess middle/far area. And he does what he does best, and that's finish headers. He has a great header. He put power behind it, and he scored. So it was a great way to start the game, and that I think we just built on that for the most part. Of course, Alanya scored after, but it's good when forwards and your wingers and your midfielders know that they don't have to be the ones that's carrying the team on the score sheet. So lovely to see.
And when you get into this part of the season where every single game, the weight of every single game just increases, until you're finally crowned, it's like when you have these players that are pulling their own weight, and it's just such a contribution, like we're not it's not like we're saying, oh, if Icardi doesn't score today, we're done. You know, everyone is putting in an effort. And just that one last little note about that first goal is I really have to give all the credit to Kerem. I mean, wow, man, what a delivery. What a delivery on a plate for him, man. That was just sensational. And, you know, obviously, like in addition to the free kick goal he scored the game before.
You know what's funny, John? I actually thought Kerem had a bad game. But this guy has become so good that even when he's bad, he can make an assist, a goal.
That's true.
And that's like what changed as to before. Before, if he had a bad game, he was invisible. No stats, nothing, and losing the ball, and which he still does sometimes.
Yeah, you know what, man? Like you mentioning that actually just reminded me, you know, things got sort of put into perspective for me. This last week I was making a little graphic for Twitter about Kerem and his stats and stuff. And when I was looking back at the earlier matches in the season, there was a couple, I think there was 3 matches he didn't start. A few matches he came off at halftime. And I remember, I totally forgot. I remember how, you know, piss poor his performances were along with Yunus, and everyone was like saying, you know, what the hell's going on? But no, I got to give it to the kid, man. Like he's turned it around in such a way where even when he plays bad, he's still very useful to the team. Yeah, absolutely. If we can talk about just the, oh my God, just the peach of a goal from Icardi to make it 2-1. Oh my God, guys. What a goal, man. First of all, just to refresh everyone, you know, we were making this forward attack, and the ball sort of fell. It just sort of landed in front of Mertens, and it bounced, and Mertens hit it first time. And this ball that Mertens puts in, and the run and anticipation from Icardi, and finally the finish. Oh my God, that was so sweet, man. Like, Mertens is the guy that can see things before they happen. And Icardi is just, what a finish, what anticipation, man. What a goal that was, guys. Like, come on. You can just tell the class from these two guys just from that one goal alone, I think.
Yep. Dude, I don't know where to even begin with this team, man. Like you said, going up front, we have impeccable class. And then back, look, Alanya throughout the whole game had only 2 shots on target. 2, one being the penalty, and one that was not a simple ball, but a good ball, and that Muslera took out. Okay, last 3 games, you know how many shots on target there was against us? 4 shots on target, guys. That's insane. Okay,
Yep.
That's insane. And we're doing this while we're we have insane, like, it's one thing to have this kind of defensive record when you're sitting back with men, like you playing like Atletico Madrid style or some Mourinho ball, right? But then it's another to have an XG on average of like 3 point something every game and attack every game, and have this kind of defensive record. Shows you like how defensively coordinated this team is. It's impeccable.
Yep.
And dude, teams don't know what to do anymore. They do not know how to play against us. Kayserispor is like, you know what? I'm gonna press high up the field, and I'm going to make sure Galatasaray doesn't play their game. Well, Galatasaray's like, okay, sure. And then they throw the ball out into the midfield, and then they recoup the ball, and then they attack straight away with a counterattack, or not like a straight direct attack. And this is one thing that I've been very happy to see from our team, is to play out from the back. Before, we used to just constantly pressure the other teams for them to make a mistake and us to capitalize on it. But now we're scoring from so many different opportunities, and it's just amazing to see. Like, everyone, this is why it's so important to have a team that's so capable of scoring, because you don't rely on one person. And it's so good to have more than one type of game plan, because then you don't rely on that one person to set your game plan up. Again, it's impeccable, man. Also, I really wanted to Mertens. We really got to give a shout out to Mertens, man. I think he was the man of the match, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, highest rated player, like I mentioned.
If you don't mind, I kind of want to like build off of where you just left off, Emma, but also John and that goal. It was a great assist, and you credited Mertens to be able to see that, before it even unraveled, right? The ball is just kind of in the open. He looks up, he sees Icardi, and he obviously puts in a beautiful ball. But you need to give a lot of credit to Icardi there as well, not just because of the finish, because the finish obviously is world class.
Of course.
You know, the whole thing just felt like, you know, surprising because it was 1-1, and it kind of felt like for a moment that it might be one of those games where it finishes 1-1 and we can't score because Alanya is just sitting so far back, and you know, we were kind of lacking that creativity to find chances up until that point. But Icardi saw that ball unraveling, you know, and coming to Mertens. He sprinted, he darted right between basically both defenders into the open space, into a spot that the goalie can't get to quickly enough. And when you're a striker, you have to make those runs all the time. You know, think back to like Burak Yilmaz days. The guy is constantly running. Does he get a ball every time he makes a run? No, but he makes that run. So when it does come, he's there. He tries to make any opportunity available for the midfielders and wingers behind him to find that ball through. And that's what Icardi did there. And of course, the finish was beautiful. But to your point, I forget who just said it, but Kerem was having a good game, right? Like, I personally don't think Kerem had his best game. But I want to add on to that. I think a lot of the guys didn't have a great game that against Alanya. Like, would you guys kind of agree with that? Just to kind of list a few names in my mind that could have played way better. Mertens, yes, he scored. Yes, he had a beautiful assist, but a lot of his shots were weak. A lot of the times he wasn't finding the target.
The third goal. I mean, I don't know what to think of it. Like, that was so ugly. The ugliest goal I've ever seen. But somehow he managed to score that in. That was like the weakest goal ever. But I don't know what happened to the keeper, but... I don't know, man.
He was laughing afterwards because he knew that, you know, it was kind of like, I don't want to say accidental because you don't accidentally put the ball in the back of the net, but he slipped. He slipped and it happened to go into the bottom left corner. So, yeah, he was laughing at Kerem.
He didn't expect it to go to that direction, and the keeper didn't expect it to go to that direction. I think that's why it became a goal, and that's why he laughed.
The keeper was frozen at that point. But, like, you know... Kerem, Mertens, even Rashica, he scored, did a beautiful. We'll talk about his goal for the second half too, but I thought he was like, you know, didn't really give the same performance that I normally would expect from him. And hey, maybe this is attributable to the fact that Alanya just sat back a lot. You know, John, you're a coach, so you kind of analyze different situations before and afterwards. And, you know, I'm curious to see what you have to say about. But Okan also said after the game where he said, we expected Alanyaspor to sit back. We expected them to give us the ball and come to them. So it's great that Okan Hoca kind of read that beforehand and, you know, prepared accordingly. And that if he prepared, that means the players prepared mentally as well. And we saw that, right? We struggled for 10, 15 minutes, but then we were able to adjust and then find our goals. But John, do you think we did enough in that first half and, you know, how we attacked a team that sat back a lot? Is it sometimes you have to, you know, kind of just wait for them to get tired? Do you have to switch it? Do you think we did what we needed to quickly enough? Because it seemed like we were about to go into the half tied, and I don't know about you guys, but I was starting to get a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned privately to some of you guys that I fully applaud Okan and his team for the preparation for these last two matches. I think that it's just been phenomenal, and you know, I have full trust in him now. But you know, it was 1-1 for majority of the first half, and then Icardi had the breakthrough for 2-1, and then I don't know if you guys remember, but in the added time at the end of the half, Rashica had pretty much an open header, and the goalkeeper made a great save. So we could have went into the half 3-1. But I think that this team is doing so well in just being dynamic and adjusting to different situations. Like, even if we prepare for a team a certain way and the match isn't playing out that way, I think this team is so good in being able to adjust, you know, adapt to any situation. And we're getting to a point where winning is just, it's such a habit. We're just finding ways to do it, you know, regardless of if teams are sitting back, if, you know, ref calls aren't going our way, if some of our key players aren't performing, we're just finding ways to do it. So I think that's the answer. It's just, you know, our ability to be so dynamic and to change depending on the situation. I think it's really, really hard to stop a team that can do that, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's multiple things. The success that we are having, It's Okan Buruk, sure. I have my doubts if he has a long breath and he can manage to cross that finish line. I still have my doubts because, yeah.
He's done it before, by the way. I think we should keep that in mind.
Well, he's also not done it before with Başakşehir, so. But like I said, it's multiple pillars. It's Okan's genius tactics sometimes. The squad building, for sure. The balance within the team.
Yeah,
of
big time.
Veterans that have experience, that can lift up the atmosphere, the willpower. So there's a lot of things that are going well. And in a complete, all in all, that's what makes this a successful team. So just to go through quickly again. So the first goal, Abdülkerim Bayrakçı. Second goal, by Alanya, 1-1. And then Milot Rashica, I keep butchering his name and only his name, was our second goal.
No, Icardi.
Oh, Icardi, sorry.
Yeah.
And then Dries
our fourth
was the
goal.
third, and Rashica, don't do this to me, was the last one.
Rashica, bro, how hard is this? Rashica.
It's the only.
Or just say Milot.
Milot. Or Milo.
Yeah,
I've
Milo.
become
I don't care.
Yasin.
This
for
is
God.
what happens.
Oh my God.
This is what happens when you make fun of me too much.
Yeah, karma,
it's,
bro.
It's sleep deprivation, bro.
The Yasin effect, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's a Yasin effect. Still blaming me.
I think, did you have any closing points on the game? Because we have a ton of listeners' questions that we need to treat today as well.
Let's
we're
get into the
trying to
questions,
close
man.
this. Hold up. I want to see that we make sure we didn't miss anything.
We have so many questions today.
This
We
game
do.
has just basically been a formality, honestly. Like, we just came to play. Oh, we got 3 points, and we just scooted. We
Did
left.
we mention Ersun Yanal?
Yeah.
Oh, he got
quit
sacked right after this game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Two
let's
games.
also mention the
Fantastic.
fact that Okan Buruk has now beat every single Fenerbahce coach in the league.
Yeah.
And he also
that's
beat
crazy.
every team in the league now with Alanya.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Props,
also,
props.
you know what's funny? I think this season we've been just winning by 1 goal, 2-1, 1-0. But when it came down to historical Fenerbahce coaches or players, like we butchered those, like 7-0,
Yeah.
4-1, 5-1.
Except that old
They-
bullet.
they-
I think
they-
that
they
was
were-
2-1 or something.
They were literally butchered. Like,
I think we're
straight
saving
up.
goals for them. So who knows what will happen at home against Fenerbahce, man.
I don't know, man. We scored 20
Nah.
goals in total against all these little rats. And we
The one
conceded
game, guys.
two,
The
I
one
think.
game.
Yeah.
I really want us to win so bad. It's not even the Fenerbahce game. I want us to beat Beşiktaş because it kind of just destroys me inside knowing that we have not beat them since they opened their new stadium away. It drives me crazy.
That
So-
can't be true, is it?
We have not beat them ever there in the league.
Yeah. True.
Oh,
Beşiktaş,
that's crazy. I don't know why I thought for sure we would have won there.
We almost did on the opening year. I don't know if you remember where Bruma scored that Messi type goal.
Yeah, he just ran through everyone. Oh, that's gonna be a good match then, man. That's in
Yeah.
that's next week, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, the game after
True.
the Karagümrük game.
Yeah.
All right, let's tune into listener questions. So, we've been growing a lot on Twitter. We have a lot of new people listening in, and we actually had a lot of new questions. So, we asked you what you'd like to ask us. And we'll start off with DZ26. He's asking if Icardi's injury might be a risk and who should start instead of him, Gomis or Zaniolo.
I could take that one.
Hmm?
I would say if Icardi's at risk, I would not use Zaniolo there. Depending on the opponent, I would either use Gomis or Barish, but it depends on the opponent.
Well, Barish we can't use.
Well, he's suspended, I guess, the next match, right? Yeah, got it. I wouldn't use Zaniolo there. I would probably try Gomis and see how the match goes and make adjustments if we need to.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, I would give Gomis a chance.
Yeah, and let's say someone else.
Why
Would
wouldn't you?
put Kerem?
Hold on. Why wouldn't you put Zaniolo? Because he does have the makings of a great striker.
Okan'ın bir bildiği vardır ya. Why didn't he
Yeah,
do
I
it
know.
before, right?
He did mention he does. He could. It could be an option in the future. But I want to ask John why he thinks that it's not a idea.
Yeah, I don't see Zaniolo as that type of player.
Has he ever played striker? He's always like 10 or right wing, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever played there, but I personally I don't know. I don't see him, and the way that he moves on the pitch and the way he plays and his positioning. I don't know if he'd be successful there. I would definitely be interested in seeing it. Who knows? Maybe he'll be a stud in that position, but I mean, I would just rather go with something that's proven right now. And at this point of the season, I would give Gomis the chance and see what he can do.
It's also a way to make him happy too. I guess.
I don't care to make anybody happy at this point of the season, guys. Honestly, I mean,
even me.
Look,
especially you.
my fellow New Yorkers on the same page. I mean, look, we're playing at home, so it's naturally going to make everything a little bit simpler. But last time we thought about rotating, I'm not sure if it really works out in our favor usually. We've had moments where we wanted to play it safe with Mertens and we played Mata. It didn't work out. We've had other moments with other players and it usually doesn't work out. And in terms of striker, I suppose it might be okay depending on how we use him because our wingers and our midfielders are so capable of scoring. It might be worth starting, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And a part two to this question that I actually want to add, even if he's healthy, right? Let's say there's no injury risk. Do you play Icardi next week? Forget about the discussion of who we play instead of him, but do you actually play him? Because if we play Icardi next game, and he gets a yellow card, he's missing the Beşiktaş game.
Purely because of this, I think we won't play him.
Yeah, I agree.
Nah, bro. Look, you play your best team every game, no matter what game, big or small, because every 3 points matters.
Week, bro.
Every 3 points matters, bro.
Yeah, he's a professional at the end of the day, bro. Like, I do trust Icardi to be able to play and not get a yellow card. I do fully trust him. It's just
I do as well. I just don't trust the tulip circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy part is, like, I agree, I trust him too. But the way that yellow cards work is even if the ref gives an absolutely ridiculous yellow card, that by replay of the worst angle possible, it's still not a yellow card.
Yeah,
they can't bring that to VAR. Exactly. You can only bring red cards. So the ref, if he wants, can just be like, "Oh, that's a foul." You kind of pushed him from behind. It kind of looked like an elbow. Yeah. Here's a yellow card. Or bam, we're done.
Even if Icardi just says one wrong thing and the ref reaches into his pocket and gives a yellow, it's possible.
Like, he's going to miss a game eventually, right? So I'd rather us win our points at home than, and just keep him or save him for the Beşiktaş game. Because the Beşiktaş game, just because you have Icardi doesn't mean you're going to win. It's definitely the harder game. I'd rather him play Karagümrük and miss the Beşiktaş game.
Oh, no,
because
come on. At home, we got the fans.
I trust Okan Buruk.
Emre's right on
I'll
that.
even score at home, bro.
I agree with Samet. Yeah, I agree with Samet.
Well, we got opposing views here, don't we, lads?
Good thing.
I don't think. I mean, it is at home, guys, and I said it myself. It should be simpler. But if you look at their record, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this just one page I'm looking at, in their last 8 games, they've only lost 1 game, and that was to Fenerbahce. And that was, I mean, I don't even have to look. I can already assume that was probably a controversial game because of the refs. So
yeah, but bro, they're gonna have a tin can playing in goal when we play against them.
Did we discuss?
Like,
we didn't. Yeah,
Diagne
is
not
that.
here. Like Diagne, they don't have Diagne to score.
Not just that.
They do.
The keeper.
They do. Okay, so that was false information. But the keeper situation.
Yeah.
Samet, you want to add that?
Well, basically, they have their first goalie is not able to play. Their second is not able to play. I think it's either the third or the Çaycı from the canteen that's going to play in the goal.
Well, it doesn't matter. Whoever plays against us is always a good goalie. Like, they just turn to monsters.
That
like
is
the
also
Trabzon
true.
game.
Mhm.
Remember that keeper? Who the hell is he? And then he just turned out to be really good keeper.
Every time you speak of Anadolu keepers, I get Kaleci Marskars in my head. That guy, like, always. Yeah, like many others. But we have a ton of more questions, guys.
Yeah. Let's
right,
move
move on.
Yeah. I know.
So, second question is from Okan KCR. He says, which team do y'all think is going to be the hardest to beat?
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. He's actually
what the hell?
German. So maybe, okay.
Yeah, why
which
talking
team
like
do
you
you
from
all
Texas?
think is going to be the hardest to beat? No, that's,
Okay, we're
oh my-
canceled
Okay,
officially.
yeah, no,
GG.
never mind. But yeah, what do you guys think? Emre?
Samet would never make it in public relations. I'm just gonna put it at that.
I'm an open book, man. That's what make me an honest man.
Oh man! All right, so let's answer
for
the
me,
question.
Beşiktaş for me.
Yeah, exactly. It's Beşiktaş because
Yeah.
we haven't beaten them in so long.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough, I think.
Well, we have 7 games left. Is it? Yeah. Wow. Almost done. And indeed.
Final stretch, man. This is it. It's this is the big time now.
Well,
but I think that it's gonna be a tough
Sivasspor
game.
might be a hard one as well, man, at home.
Sivasspor, yes, but like in terms of the most difficult and the most difficult team in terms of how they play, especially at home, the obvious logical answer is Beşiktaş.
Yeah, and that match is always a bit of a fiery match. Red cards and whatnot. I would imagine that to be the
They're
toughest.
gonna want to beat us to get some favors from Rahmi Baba. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
3 points there would be just
oof. Yes.
wow. Indescribable.
That's just the cherry on top.
Yeah.
That would be the cherry on top.
So I have a question and then a follow-up answer to something else. But
that's not the question.
Do we still play Ankara Gücü? We do,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Away.
Okay. So I think that game is actually going to be really tough too, because if you look at the rest of our schedule, we don't leave Istanbul once except for Ankara Gücü away. I mean, we technically have an away game versus Istanbulspor, but that's in Istanbul. We have an away game versus Beşiktaş, but that's in Istanbul. And now our next game, which is Karagümrük, which is also in Istanbul. So that is a huge home advantage, I want to say, in terms of travel and a lot of games in a short period of time. But Ankara Gücü is not an easy team. Like they
You're
have
afraid of
some
good,
players.
And Emre?
I mean, Ankara Gücü is 4 points away from relegation, and they are a relatively big club. Historically, they have their fans behind them. So we're playing away. They're gonna want to stay in the league. I see that being tough and a game that we really do have to take seriously to avoid having Fenerbahce game be this deciding game, because that is the last thing I want. Like I hope to God that we go into that game already champions, because if we're not, then that is my answer. That is the toughest game of the season, because we can afford to lose versus Beşiktaş. That's 3 points. We have a 6 point lead right now. If we lose to Beşiktaş, which is seemingly our toughest game, that is not the end of the world, because we still have 3 points. We have the tiebreaker advantage, and we still play Fenerbahce at home.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I said that I'd rather Icardi play versus Karagümrük than Beşiktaş, because we can afford to lose against Beşiktaş. You know what I mean? Because we have that opportunity. In fact, we can lose against 2 teams and still be in the winning. Right?
Yeah,
So
that's why I understand that. Like, it would be the worst situation if we say, okay, like Sergio, Bowie, Icardi, Kerem are all 1 yellow card away from suspension. Let's save them, half of them or all of them, for the Beşiktaş game. And then imagine we lose points against Karagümrük at home, and then we go to Beşiktaş and lose points there. Then that's a tough
exactly,
situation.
bro.
Guys,
That's what I'm saying.
You guys should not be assuming Fener are gonna win the rest of their games. Like, I could tell you,
Look,
with total confidence, they're losing
Lale
points.
Orta, Fener gol. Okay, that's what we're afraid of. We're not afraid of Fenerbahce. We're afraid of their best player, Lale Orta. Okay.
She doesn't scare me.
I wanna be super objective and have a bit of a Dutch approach in what Emre is saying, but it's not the reality. It's really that bad in Turkey. It's like I can't even justify anything else. It's so
Embarrassing,
hard.
bro.
Yeah, it is embarrassing.
Bro, when's the last time you've seen anybody from an official organization go into match replays and have them take out a position? and it being okay, and they don't
And then
resign
go
or
boast
do
about it on TV.
exactly. And she admits that I was wrong, and then nothing happens.
Anyway, well, I'm gonna take the next question. This is
Let's go.
from Young Champ. I think we answered this one. He's basically asking, would you like to see players like Firmino and Simeone in the team next year? Firmino, yes. Simeone, I don't know. Yeah,
Firmino, I think could be.
like
I think he could be good. I think that could really work out. But I'm not opposed to it, especially if we're going to be in Europe. I think that could be decent.
And Firmino, right? So
yeah,
I'd like both, given the Italian / South American vibes and connection that they'd bring to what we already have.
Oh yeah,
that
vibes,
alone. But they're both class players. I mean, I think Simeone is doing decent.
You're thinking FIFA green lines.
Green lines. Yeah, if Okan Hoca approves it, I approve it. I'll say that.
Yeah. All right. This one is from Adana Yağız, Kerem Adanalı. I think he's from Adana, guys. I don't know. He's asking, in case of Bowie's departure, do you think we should use Dubois or aim for a veteran transfer or go for another young prospect like Bowie? Which brings a very good point, because I truly think Bowie's gone in the summer, especially with the interview he had with Transfer Market.
Yeah.
And how he answered them. I think we can say goodbye to Bowie.
I'd agree.
Hopefully a good fee. But he's asking, do you think we should use Dubois? Of course. It's
that's why we bought him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's capped for the national team. He has a lot of experience. He's, I think, also a bit more technical, like Mariano that we had, than Bowie. Bowie is more athletic, in my opinion. Still young, can learn a lot. But should we go for another? I think together with Dubois, and let's have another young prospect, right?
That's what they'll do. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna go and just depend on Dubois the whole season. And also, I think Okan Buruk realized, like after seeing Bowie play, he knows the type of player in his head that he needs for us to be successful going forward. You need someone that's really, physically capable and technically capable. Well, like more physically capable than they are technically capable. Like I think of Adekugbe, but a little bit more like technically capable. I think that's the young prospect they will. Okay, bro. Okay.
Just to make sure that we're understanding the question right and answering it properly, I think he's basically asking, okay, Dubois is staying. Would you rather have him start next season, or would you rather keep him on the bench and aim for an even better left back or right back and have Dubois on the bench and have that new veteran start, or keep Dubois on the bench and bring another young prospect that can compete and maybe start over Dubois? Like,
I would use Dubois personally. I mean, especially if we're going to be in Europe. I mean, Dubois has over 100 caps for Lyon. Like he's a veteran, man. Like he knows what he's doing, and for the money that we spent,
bro. And he's a veteran.
Yeah, man. Like he knows what he's doing. He's played at a high level.
He's been around the block.
If we're gonna be in Europe, I would go with Dubois. But exactly what you guys said, the other part of that is, of course, I think that if there's the opportunity for another sort of scout transfer, of course, how can you deny that?
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, then. Moving on, we have from Boe Siok, Sasha 93, asking, how successful do you think our young talents, Kerem, Boe, Nelson, will be in the future? Let's start with Yasin on this one.
Well, Boe, I think.
We forget. Kerem, Ajax.
Oh,
you mentioned that. Huntelaar was here. Not here, but he came to one of our home games. I think it was the last home game we had. He was there.
Yeah, scouting. And apparently they're really looking keen on Kerem Aktürkoğlu. So paired with that question on how successful you think about young talents, I think Kerem will do great. With the mentality he has, what we've spoken about him, the progress we see in him, for sure, Kerem. Yeah, he has the attitude to be very successful.
Yeah, continue, Yasin. What do you think, bro?
No, just to recap, right? We're given three names. Nelson is 24 years old. Kerem is 24, and Sacha is 22. So they're all far away from their supposedly prime years of a footballer that goes through, right? Which is usually around 27 to 29. So they have quite a bit of time to improve. Next thing that you need to really look at is determining if they can be stars or not. Are they continuously improving? And I think that applies to all three guys. Nelson has gotten stronger. His game awareness has gotten better. I think there's still areas that he can improve, but he still has time, right? He's an international player and he's getting more caps, more minutes with them. So he'll naturally improve with confidence there. Bowie, this guy is a workhorse, right? He's getting better in defending, getting up and down the pitch. He can still improve his final passing and crossing, but I think that's something that you can get with reps, right? So I think he can be quite the star, honestly. I think he can be very successful. He's still 22 years old. If he makes a move to, a top 5 league team that maybe isn't top 3 or 4, he can still be worth maybe 20 to 30 million in a couple of years. If that's not what he leaves us for, I'm sure he can be similar to Alex Telles, if not better in the future. Kerem, this kid is very special in my opinion, guys. Like, I think people might change their opinions because he's Turkish and where he came from, but he is constantly improving both mentally and the way that he actually plays on the pitch. Just this season alone, like, I think we talked about it in the past, but when you change the players that you play around, that can change a specific player and how they play significantly.
Remember, Yasin?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but do you guys remember when we got rid of all the players, Thailand, Emre Kılınç, all the players that were with us last year? What did I say? I said it is better that we cut the axe with these players and have Kerem and all these other players around players like Mata, Mertens, Icardi, et cetera, because that'll make them a better player.
Yeah, don't start, man. Don't start. I'm going to Kaan Ayhan cutting my boy Emin Bayram. Oh, my God.
Well, that's a whole different story. But yeah, Yasin, like, you made a good point. I just wanted to reiterate. It's such an important thing to have these kind of players around these young prospects.
Yeah, and I think they'll all be successful. If you guys want to add anything to that.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. I think we can tackle the next one. Not much more to add.
I only Bowie, I have my doubts, especially with the attitude sometimes. I don't know, man. But yeah. Last question then. What is your favorite combination as our home kit? Do you prefer parçalı with black, red, or white shorts? On a personal note, I love it with black shorts. I'm bummed to see they are seemingly going out of the equation next season.
Whatever
Yes,
we're wearing
me.
now, I think, is what I prefer, which is red. I
Really?
think. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that.
I hate it, bro.
Nah.
I hate it. I love the white shorts because it reminds me of the seasons with Melo when he first came.
And
El
it's
Mander?
also the OG. Parçalı with white shorts and red socks. That's how it all started.
It doesn't. It like doesn't match almost though. Like it looks weird, kind of. I don't know.
I will send you a picture, man, with Melo and
Alright.
all, Drogba and the awesome, perfect parçalı format that we have. I miss that.
It'll ignite the nostalgia in my heart.
Yeah, that looks good. And
Yeah, what do
The
you-
black shorts, I don't know, are cursed for me. I think some of our
Yes.
worst seasons were with the black shorts.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, personally, I don't really like black shorts normally. I also definitely don't like the red short. I'm more of a white short guy with the parçalı. I think that's beautiful. But, it depends on the jersey that we wear too, actually. Like this season, our parçalı has a pretty big black, bow tie looking piece to it right underneath, the collar.
Yeah.
Like black shorts looks
fit
good with
this
that.
one.
But
Yeah.
the red shorts have black details on them, like black accents on the
They
sides
do.
and stuff.
That one I just have, it's a no-go for me. I don't care how
Yeah,
much it
fair
matches. The red shorts, man, like that's weird to me.
Because bro,
I
you know
really
the
don't like-
picture, the picture of Drogba, Melo, and Schneider like posing after the goal with their arms crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, they're wearing red shorts. That's a banger, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
That was
I
like
mean,
the one
that-
picture out of dozens.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
trying to
that's-
justify red shorts by naming awesome people.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
am.
an iconic picture, and I think it's just in the feelings for you.
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
There was this one time I remember we had the shorts. They were the same color as the parchella in each side,
Oh, I
and you
remember
look
that.
like a clown.
Oh yeah, I know.
That was the worst. I think they changed it immediately after like
bro,
one game.
that's do you know that, dude? That's reckless sending players out with that. Oh my lord.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
speaking
dude.
of parts of the small detail, like the back is always one color now. In the past, it was separated, like the front in the parcella.
I missed that. I like that.
That's because of rulings. Because they, I think it's to view the numbers better or something like that. They were not allowed to do that, so it's always one color on the back. But
That's
yeah,
weird.
that sucks. Yeah.
But yeah.
Those were all the questions we had today, boys. Any closing points, topics?
I guess we predictions for next
Fatih
game. Right?
Karagümrük.
Yeah.
That's a good point. What do you guys think?
You go first, Yasin.
Oh, you're giving it to me again. Man. So we play at home with quite a few guys that are close to suspension. I do think he might rotate one or two guys. I'm not sure who yet, and I feel like depending on who he rotates, it's gonna impact the score significantly. But just to play it safe, I'm gonna say 3-1 win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna just go purely no vibes, all facts. All right. Fatih Karagümrük, they concede almost like just about 2 goals a game. And on average, we're scoring 2.3 on the season. So I'm gonna say we're gonna win 2-0.
Yeah, but Fatih Karagümrük, they also score
Yeah,
on
they score a lot.
average 2 goals.
But they're not. Come on, you're not gonna score 2 on us.
Don't. Famous last words, John.
No,
Don't do it.
Depends.
Don't
Is
do
Kaan
it.
Ayhan playing?
Don't be the Sali of last week.
I know you don't want your voice clip on the next episode.
Okay, bro.
But
If
they're gonna score 2 goals now. We'll come back to this.
No, bro. What do you want me to do if what's his name, Lobjanidze, whatever? If he scores like a 50-yard goal, come on,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, that
what
name.
can we do sometimes, bro? Like,
Watch him do that too now.
Yeah, no, on my end, I think we'll do like 3-1, 4-2, something like that.
yeah, fair enough.
Emre, you're still not giving any scores?
You know what I think will happen is we'll find out next week.
Oh, had me in the first half.
Yeah, had me in the first half, bro.
I was about to cut you off. Like, don't do it. Don't give the prediction.
I know.
All right. Well, who wants to take it? Say the goodbyes, the closing points.
You should do it since you haven't been here
I'm rusty,
in a while.
brah. I'm rusty. Well, you know what? I'll do it. All right. Thank you all for listening again. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone new listening to us as well. If you don't get our inside jokes, you can have a look at older episodes. I'd recommend to start off with episode 40, actually, which happens to be the Fenerbahce Derby game where we smashed them. Anyway, you can always DM us on Instagram and Twitter at The Lions Den GS. You can also get a free invite link to Discord. Yes, for free. Haha. Anyway, say goodbye, guys. Goodbye.
Peace.
See ya.
See you guys.